Hi, good morning. So this video is for my ladies in their mid 40s, early 50s, and you are exhausted, you have no energy to get through the day and do all the things that you need to do. So one of the common complaints I see and hear from my patients in this age group is that they are dealing with insomnia. They just cannot sleep. And so it is important for us to sleep. I want to stress that. Many of us think that that is optional. It is not. Our body is actually resting and repairing at that time. And there are critical things that are happening at that time that they don't happen at any other time. So sleep is important. So one of the things I like to speak to my patients about is sleep hygiene. So these are some tips that you can utilize to implement and see where maybe you need to make some adjustments and changes. First thing is fluid. How much fluid are you drinking, especially later in the day? So, say after 7 p.m., we really need to be thinking about our fluid intake, especially if you are the lady that drinks a lot of fluid later in the day, and then you are waking up maybe around midnight, 2 a.m. to go and urinate, and you can't go back to sleep. You may want to think of adjusting how much fluid you're consuming and then have your fluid earlier, the majority of your fluid. And I'm not saying you can't drink anything later at night. I am not saying that, but just be cognizant of how much you're drinking. The next thing is caffeine, which is kind of related to fluid intake, especially if you love your coffee. Remember, coffee is a stimulant, and the later you drink it, and maybe it wasn't an issue when you were younger, but unfortunately, we are aging, getting older, and things are changing. So, if you are drinking a lot of caffeine, especially after 2 p.m., again, it's a stimulant. It may keep you up at night. You probably want to readjust, maybe having your coffee earlier in the day, maybe replacing it with some herbal teas that are not caffeinated. Just a thought. The next thing is food. What are we eating, especially for dinner, and when are we eating it? So again, these high carbohydrate meals, it's going to require a lot of digestion from us. Again, sleep is a time of resting and repairing. So you may want to consider, what are you eating? Ideally, more of a protein-rich meal with lots of vegetables, more fibrous vegetables instead of starchy vegetables would be ideal. And you really should not be eating within 2 hours of going to sleep. So, again, this is maybe something you want to look at, and if possible, adjusting the time that you're eating. Maybe that's the biggest issue. What is the temperature in your room? Ideally, more of a cooler room is going to help to facilitate sleep. A dark, quiet room would be ideal. I know a lot of us like to watch TV in our rooms. That really is not helpful. So maybe making some adjustments there. Instead of watching TV, maybe listening to some quiet music or reading a book. Screen time. I know we love our screens, our phones, our computers, our laptop, but unfortunately, this can inhibit sleep because we have a hormone called melatonin that is secreted to help to facilitate sleep. Melatonin does a lot more, but it is important for sleep hygiene. And the more lights we have in our face, we are going to inhibit and prevent that production and release of melatonin. So you want to consider that maybe using blue light or the blue light blocker shades, but definitely maybe just putting those screens away 1 to 2 hours before sleep. And again, having a conversation with your family member, reading a book, or doing something else. These things are very important to help to facilitate sleep. So my next video, I am going to talk about a few supplements that I usually recommend to my patients who are dealing with insomnia and that I actually take as well. So I am Dr. Stasha-Gae Roberts, nurse practitioner and owner of Compassion Primary Care. If you are a lady in her mid 40s or early 50s and you are looking for a clinician that provides holistic care that will help to improve your exhaustion and help to give your energy back, I would love to speak to you. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Take care. Bye-bye.